Here's another prison story. Now, nobody's allowed to have sex in prison. Staff are not allowed to have sex with inmates. Inmates are not allowed to have sex with other inmates. Although staff does have sex with other staff, and nothing really seems to happen bad about that. And in fact, I got a story about that one. When I was new to the prison system, people were always telling me stories about prison life. And somebody told me a story about these two staff members that would have sex with each other on the night shift all the time. And they would have sex on somebody's office desk. And the way that they could tell was that in the morning, there would be aspirins all over the desk. And so I asked her, aspirins? Why are there aspirins on the desk? And she goes, ass prints, idiot. So anyway, that's just an aside and has nothing to do with the story. Although if those two people had fallen off the table and one of them was injured, they could actually put in for workers' comp. People would put in for workers' comp for anything. In fact, one time I was hanging out with this lady in personnel that was in charge of the workers' comp cases. And she was telling me about this one case where somebody was actually getting workers' comp because her boss yelled at her on the phone. So he supposedly yelled so loud that it damaged her ears, and she was out on workers' comp for that. Well, workers' comp, I could tell like a whole nother series of stories. But anyway, I'm trying to tell this other story, so let me get back on track. Like I said, inmates are not allowed to have sex in prison. Although they do sometimes have like family reunion visits, and then they are in a trailer, they can do whatever they want. But otherwise, inside the jail, it's not allowed. One time, this one inmate was caught giving a blowjob to this other inmate. Now, before I go on with the story, I just want to say that homosexuality is a completely normal sexual orientation, but not everybody sees it that way in prison. When you're a homosexual in a male prison, that can set you up to be a victim for obvious reasons. So nobody wants to have the reputation of being a homosexual in prison. So like I said, this one inmate is caught giving a blowjob to another inmate, and they're going to get in trouble because they're not supposed to do that. Like, it may not be a very severe punishment. Like I said, there's a whole range that starts with like being locked in your cell for a day or 2 days, or having your packages taken away for a little while, or maybe your commissary taken away for a little while. And then like for the really bad things is when they put you in like the box, but that doesn't come up to that level. So anyway, they're questioning the two inmates that were caught in the act. And the one of them that was giving the blowjob, he's making these excuses up. He's saying, he actually said this, well, I was helping him tie his shoelaces and I slipped. And nobody's buying that. And then when they questioned the other guy who was getting the blowjob, he said, hey, I'm in prison. I was getting a blowjob. What do you think? Because according to the very subtle prison rules, the guy getting the blowjob is not a homosexual. The guy giving the blowjob is a homosexual. So the guy giving it like doesn't want anyone, you know, he's worried about his reputation. But the guy getting it, like, he's got nothing to worry about. So that's just one little story slice about sex behind bars.